This is Jack Fishman behind the camera, speaking with music director Sebastian Lang.MOV. Maestro, you make your debut January 7th and 8th, and then 4 days later, Wednesday, January 12th at 7:30 p.m., you produce what for us is the concert of the year, Lang and Lang.MOV.
Yeah.
What do you think about when you work with an artist as famous as Lang, and is it any different than any other guest artist?
No, I don't think so. I think it would be the biggest compliment to Lang to say that you don't regard it any different. It is different, I think, in the perspective of the expectation of the audience and the excitement that he creates before he's even played the first note. That's maybe that's because he's so famous. But I think in the way we work as musicians, it comes back to the music, and all this doesn't count anymore. It's looking for an interpretation together to create something that is exciting and new the minute we started. So we don't need to know much about each other's biography to communicate as musicians, and it's not really necessary for us to communicate other than through the music. So this is maybe more of the outside. The work as a musician stays exactly the same. But what I like about Lang is I think he's a wonderful extrovert, very intense, high energy artist. Somebody who enjoys to perform, who is not just playing for himself, but he's a great performer. And I think this is also part of the reason why he created such a buzz and this fame. And I'm just looking forward to playing with a wonderful musician who has a lot to give and a lot to say, and absorb this and give what I can give and enter into a dialogue that is really exciting for the audience.
Now you're playing the Rachmaninoff Piano Concerto No. 2, one of the great crowd pleasers for piano. What are your thoughts on this piece and what the reaction might be?
Well, it's interesting that it's such a crowd pleaser, because if you think about the history of the piece and how it was created, with Rachmaninoff getting out of this depression, basically dedicating the piece to his shrink. You wouldn't expect a crowd pleaser, but why is it so great? Because it actually does it's like a full therapy of 250 sessions of psychoanalysis. He comes out of this darkness in the beginning, where the piano is searching really far down the keyboard where to go, and at the beginning you think, oh my God, he's not gonna make it. It is so dark, he's not gonna get out of that. And actually, interestingly enough, it searches, and it's heavy, and it's dark, and it's full of deep emotion, but it can't get a way out, and it needs the orchestra to drive the pianist out of this and create the first melody, and then finally piano joins in, and then through the piece the piano takes over and gets more excited until the end, when really the piano becomes the hero. It gradually develops in a fantastic way. I mean, the way it's staged is very theatrical in this piece, and that's why I think it's also very good for Lang. It's a theatrical piece. It's almost opera for piano and orchestra, and also the dialogue between the clarinet in the second movement is just to die for in terms of melodic influence. But it's a very melancholic piece. It's an extremely melancholic piece. It's not a cheerful crowd pleaser. It's a crowd pleaser because it's emotionally very, very deep, and it goes through all emotions. So be prepared for a lot of turmoil in this concert.
Sounds fantastic. That's Wednesday, January 12th at 7:30 p.m. at the Majestic Theater. Lang and Lang.MOV. Thank you.